I have to ask, how, if you have loads of friends, if you have a big group of friends, or if you are a person who makes friends easily, and you sustain these friendships, or you have friends from years ago or even from your childhood, how do you do this? How do you sustain friendships? I'm 44. I have no contact with anyone from my college years. In fact, I'm glad I don't. I didn't like any of them. I had big a big group of friends later in life. We would do things together. We would go out. We would just party. There was never, let's just say, I never had a lack of finding someone to do on a Saturday or even on a Thursday, on a weeknight. I would just call someone and we'd be like, yeah, let's go. But that was like drinking. I'm talking about drinking and going out and partying and having fun. In my younger years. And, later in life, we move on. People find partners. They move cities. They move countries. They have other interests. And we drift apart. I had a group of friends which, again, they were drinking buddies, but to be honest, no, they were just drinking buddies. I was just going to say something, I could confide in them, or I could rely on them, or I knew I had their support, but I didn't. They were just drinking buddies. And then we move on, we drift apart, we try to sustain that friendship for a couple of years by liking each other's photos on Instagram, which I think that's the most pathetic thing. Like, to have friends from 10 years ago, you haven't said a single word to each other, and just liking each other's photos on Instagram, and you call that friendship? Anyway, my question is, how do you sustain friendships? Show me someone. It doesn't mean, because if someone says, oh, I know, if someone over 40 tells me, oh, we've been friends since we were 18, to me, that's a science fiction. To me, you are telling me in your way that you haven't changed and your friend hasn't changed, that you're at the same path. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be mean, but it sounds like nothing, in those years that you've remained friends since you were 18, or even younger than that. What, unless you mean something else, unless when you say friendship, you mean something else, as in, we hang out, we go out for coffee whenever I go back to my hometown. If that's you call friendship, then it's not. I'm sorry. Guys, if you call friendship someone that you just hang out for coffee every 6 months, we're not on the same wavelength. But if you have someone that you confide in, and they're there when you need them, or when you have good news, you call them and you say, hi, yeah, oh my gosh. And you talk and you open your heart to them. Does that exist? How can you have friendships from your teenage years? This is a question, I'm just saying it, I'm questioning it out loud. Because to me, it's incomprehensible. I'm not the same person. I'm not the same person I was when I was 18. And even with my siblings, I have nothing in common. I have evolved. I'm not the same person, and they're not the same people. We're not the same. We're not, kids anymore. We don't have the same interests. I cannot sustain a friendship. I meet people, and we have, at work, when I come to work and I just meet people and we have the same interests, or even at the gym, we have an amazing common thing. Fitness, that's a massive thing in my life. When I was doing music, I have musicians friends. I would meet, we had the same interests, but still it was not friendship. It's not friendship, guys. Like, okay, we talk about the same things, but I'm not just that. I'm not one-dimensional. That sounds so cringe. Sometimes, I don't know, when you say friendship and when you say relationships and when you say connection, I think you mean something else. When you say loneliness, I think you mean something else. Friendships are amazing. If you have a friend that you've known for 20, 30 years and they're your best friend, that's amazing. But to me, immediately, I immediately think, and I know that's my maybe limited view of friendships, is, to me, it sounds like you haven't not progressed, like evolved as a I don't want to make it sound as an insult. It's not an insult. I'm just saying, how can you be the same person you were at 20? The same ideas, unless you were really mature back in the day and you had mature friends. I'm not in the slightest the same person. My friends back then, I see them now. I see them like online, on Instagram, or I can see what they're up to. They're not the same people. We are completely different people. Back then we were the same. Now we're completely different. I can't sustain a friendship that I don't have anything in common. And the common thing I had with those people was alcohol. That was what was binding us. I don't know. Friendships are hard. And I'm not complaining. I never had, now that I'm thinking about it, I've never had a best friend. I never had a friend to call, or I never had a friend to look at them and be proud and just support them and just be happy about them. And vice versa. I never had anyone when I had accidents, when I was going through some really bad shit. I never had anyone to say, please, can you come and help me? Or please, can you do this? Can you pick me up? Never. So I don't know. And I'm just saying, we do exist. I never had a friend as, as a friend should be. Like how we read in novels and how we see in TV series, Friends. Let me know what you guys think. I might be completely wrong, so please let me know. Thank you again for listening and telling me your opinions and your stories. I love reading them. So thank you so much. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic day.